welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something that, well, it seems pretty simple on the surface, journaling.
Yeah.
But specifically journaling for, clarity and self-growth.
Yeah. It really is fascinating, isn't it? I mean, our lives are just so busy, so much noise.
Totally.
And taking time out to just write stuff down, it can almost feel like, well, like you shouldn't be doing it.
Right. Like it's unproductive somehow.
Exactly. But its power to bring some order inside and really boost self-awareness, that's still incredibly strong.
Absolutely. And if you're listening and you've ever felt, pulled in a million directions, maybe just stuck, not sure what the next step is, or things just feel fuzzy,
Yeah, that foggy feeling.
then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Yeah.
Our goal today is pretty straightforward, really.
Okay.
We want to understand why journaling works, and maybe more importantly, how this basic act can actually lead to clearer thinking and, well, help you grow.
And, it's important to say this isn't about becoming some great writer.
Right. Not trying to write the next bestseller here.
No, definitely not. Or like filling up stacks of notebooks. It's more about carving out a little space for yourself, amidst all the chaos.
A dedicated space.
Okay.
I like that. Okay, so let's unpack this. Why does it actually matter? I mean, with everything coming at us constantly, just sitting down with your own thoughts feels quite deliberate, almost radical sometimes.
It really is. Journaling gives you what you could call a sacred pause.
A sacred pause. Okay.
Yeah, it's a conscious choice to step back from all that external noise.
Yeah.
It creates this focused space just for reflection.
It's like hitting a pause button internally.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Think of it as a chance to actually process the constant flow of stuff, information, emotions, everything we deal with day to day.
Okay.
It lets you release what's been swirling around in your head and maybe, just maybe, see things a bit differently, reframe them.
Interesting. And you called it a mirror for your mind earlier.
Yeah.
That really struck me. What exactly does that mean?
Well, when thoughts and feelings just stay rattling around inside our heads, they can often be really vague, right? Hard to pin down, sometimes overwhelming.
Definitely overwhelming.
So the act of writing them down, it makes them more concrete, tangible. They become visible, almost like they're separate from you for a moment. And that lets you look at them more objectively, maybe spot patterns you wouldn't normally notice.
Like recurring worries or reactions.
Exactly. And just get a better handle on what's really going on underneath it all, those vague worries. They can become specific things you can actually, tackle.
So it's like taking an internal snapshot.
Yeah.
Getting it out so you can look at it properly.
Precisely.
And you mentioned people like Leonardo da Vinci and Oprah. This isn't just some modern wellness trend.
No, not at all. No. Go back through history and you find so many accomplished people using journaling. Yeah. As a tool to process things, clarify their intentions, even spark creativity. Da Vinci's notebooks are legendary for that, capturing thoughts, observations.
Right, I've heard about those.
And Oprah, she's talked a lot about how journaling helped her navigate tough times, cultivate gratitude.
Okay.
These examples just show that, this practice has had real value for a long, long time across different fields.
So the main point isn't that we need to, journal like Da Vinci.
No, pretty not.
But that they found this tool genuinely useful on their own paths. And you touched on this, but it's worth saying again, it's not about literary skill, is it?
Not in the slightest.
It's about that raw, honest conversation with yourself.
Exactly. Your journal is, it's private. Totally private. No audience, no judgment.
That's key, I think, the no judgment part.
It is. It's a space where you can be completely brutally honest with yourself. Explore things you might never say out loud.
Yeah.
And do it without any pressure at all. No need to be perfect or eloquent or anything like that.
Okay, so we get why it's important, that internal mirror, that private space. Now, what about the actual, tangible benefits? It's more than just feeling a bit better for 5 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. The benefits really touch on several key parts of, our well-being.
Okay.
One huge one is emotional release.
Right. Getting stuff off your chest.
Exactly. Think about a time you were really stressed or angry or upset. Keeping that bottled up, not great.
No.
Writing it down gives you an outlet, a way to sort of externalize those intense feelings. It can really lessen their immediate punch, almost like, putting down a heavy bag you've been carrying.
That makes a lot of sense, giving feelings a voice, even just on paper.
Yeah.
And you mentioned self-awareness too. How does journaling help with that specifically?
Well, if you do it consistently, over time,
Consistency is key.
it helps, definitely. You basically create this record, a log of your thoughts, feelings, reactions, experiences.
Okay.
And looking back at older entries, that can be really eye-opening. You start seeing recurring themes. Yeah, patterns in how you act, how you react to certain things, maybe even your underlying beliefs.
Ah,
And that awareness is just crucial for growth. You can't really change what you don't see, right?
true. You need to see it first.
It helps you identify your strengths, but also, the areas where maybe you want to make some changes.
So it's like your own personal internal data logbook. That's really interesting. What about goals? You mentioned goal tracking.
Yes. When you actually write down your goals, your intentions,
Hmm.
it just makes them feel more real, more solid.
More committed somehow.
Exactly. It's a form of commitment, even just to yourself. And then regularly looking back at those written goals in your journal, it works like a reminder, like that mental GPS you mentioned.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
It helps keep you focused on what actually matters to you, lets you check your progress, see what's maybe getting in the way.
That really rings true. Writing things down just hits different, doesn't it? And reviewing them keeps them alive. Okay, what about problem solving? How does writing help there?
Well, when we're stuck in a problem, our thoughts can often just race, right? Feel chaotic,
Yeah,
jumbled.
definitely.
The act of writing forces you to slow down,
Okay,
to actually articulate the issue more clearly, break it down on paper.
step by step.
Kind of. You can look at it from different angles, brainstorm solutions, all in writing. It often helps you find new perspectives, see paths forward that were just lost in all the mental noise before.
Like taking the problem out of your head and laying it out where you can actually examine it logically.
Precisely that.
And the last one, you mentioned gratitude and positivity. That seems so simple but powerful.
It really is just consciously focusing on and actually writing down, even just say 3 things you're grateful for each day.
Just 3 things.
Even just 3. It can have a huge impact on your overall mindset.
How so?
It shifts your focus away from what you might feel is lacking or what's going wrong
Right.
and towards what you do have, what you appreciate. It fosters this sense of, abundance, optimism.
I see.
It's a really simple but effective counterpunch to negativity. And it builds resilience over time.
Okay. Wow. So we know why it matters. The benefits seem pretty clear. Emotional release, self-awareness, goals, problems, gratitude. Now for the big question, how do we actually start? If someone's listening and thinking, okay, I'm interested, but it can feel a bit daunting, right?
Absolutely. That's a really common feeling. And I think the most important thing to remember right off the bat is there's no single right way to do it.
No magic formula.
Nope. The key is finding what works for you, what feels right, and then trying to be somewhat consistent with it.
Okay, so ditch the pressure to make it perfect. What are some practical first steps?
Okay, first thing, think about the format. What feels best for you? Do you like the actual feel of a notebook, a pen on paper?
That old school feel.
Yeah. Or are you more comfortable, maybe find it more convenient using a digital app on your phone, tablet, computer?
Yeah.
And honestly, there's no right or wrong answer. It's purely about what feels most accessible, most comfortable for now, what lowers the barrier to actually doing it.
Makes sense. Remove the friction. What about timing? When should we do it? How often?
Finding a regular time can definitely help build the habit.
Scheduling it in?
Kind of, yeah. Some people love morning journaling. It's a great way to, set intentions for the day, clarify what's important, start the day feeling focused.
Okay, like a mental warm-up.
Exactly. Others prefer evening journaling. It's a chance to reflect on the day, process what happened, maybe identify some lessons learned.
Unwind, maybe.
Yeah, unwind, download the day. But honestly, the best time is whatever time you can actually stick to consistently, even if it's just for a few minutes.
So we don't need to block out an hour every day, especially at the start.
Oh, God, no. Definitely not. Start small. Seriously small, even 5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes.
5 minutes of focused writing can be really beneficial. Don't pressure yourself to write pages and pages or craft these beautiful sentences. That's not the point. It's about the act itself, engaging with your thoughts, not the volume or the literary quality.
Right. The process, not the product. But what if you sit down, pen in hand, or app open, and your mind is just blank? Nothing comes. I bet that happens a lot.
It absolutely does. And that's where prompts can be, lifesavers.
Prompts, like questions.
Exactly. They just give you a starting point, something to focus on when you're feeling stuck or unsure what to write about.
Okay, give us some examples.
Sure. Really simple ones work great. Like, what am I feeling right now?
Just that.
Just that. Or what's been on my mind lately? Or maybe, what do I need to let go of today?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Or the gratitude one we mentioned, what am I grateful for? These simple questions can be surprisingly good at just, getting the wheels turning, getting thoughts flowing onto the page.
Those are great. Really practical. Sometimes you just need that little nudge to get started. Okay, we've talked principles, benefits, how-tos. I'm curious, though. Do you have maybe a personal story about how journaling helped you? if you're okay sharing, of course.
Yeah, I do actually. About 5 years back, I went through a phase where I felt really adrift.
Adrift.
Yeah. Things were tricky professionally, some relationship stress, just this general feeling of uncertainty, lack of direction. It was a pretty tough time. Lots of inner doubt.
Sounds really challenging. So how did journaling fit into that?
Well, I decided to give it a proper try. Committed to about 10 minutes.
Every morning, 10 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at first, it wasn't some, profound outpouring of wisdom or
That's,
anything.
instant enlightenment.
Definitely not. Some days it was literally just scribbled frustrations, fragments of thoughts, sometimes just anger on the page.
Wow.
There wasn't always a clear story or, any immediate answers jumping out.
It wasn't like a smooth, easy path to sudden insight then?
Not at all. It was messy, honestly. Really messy sometimes.
Okay.
But over time, because I kept showing up, kept writing down whatever was there, I did start to notice things.
Like what?
Patterns in my thinking, like we talked about, how I was reacting to stuff. I started to kind of pinpoint the roots of some anxieties.
Oh.
And also, interestingly, I started to recognize my own resilience more, even when things felt really hard.
So even though it felt maybe chaotic or confusing in the moment, just the consistent act of doing it started to reveal things over the longer term.
Exactly. It wasn't like journaling waved a magic wand and fixed everything overnight,
Right.
but it gave me a space where clarity could gradually emerge during a really confusing time. It helped me process the feelings, understand myself and the situation better, and ultimately, navigate that whole period with more self-awareness, more inner strength, I guess.
That's a really powerful example of the process, not just the outcome. It sounds like the consistency, just showing up for yourself, was really the key,
Yeah.
even when it felt hard or like nothing was happening.
Absolutely. And I think that leads nicely into some final thoughts, maybe for everyone listening.
Okay.
You really don't need to feel wise or calm or inspired or anything special to start journaling.
No prerequisites
None at all. The only invitation really is to just show up.
to show up.
Yeah. Be authentic, be real, be messy, be human on those pages or, in that app, whatever you use.
That takes so much pressure off, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's not a performance.
Exactly. It's not about creating something perfect for anyone else. It's personal exploration.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
Okay.
And the beauty of it is journaling just meets you exactly where you are on any given day.
Whatever state you're in.
Totally. Whether you're feeling happy, sad, angry, confused, clear, whatever it is, your journal is that safe space to just be with it, acknowledge it.
So maybe as you're listening right now, it's worth taking just a second to ask yourself, what's going on inside me that maybe I haven't really listened to yet, haven't given my full attention?
That's really the heart of it, isn't it? And maybe, just maybe, now's the time to pick up that pen or open that app and actually start listening to yourself through journaling.
Thank you for taking this deep dive with us today. Really fascinating stuff.
My pleasure.
And if you listening found this exploration helpful or maybe inspiring, please do consider subscribing, liking, maybe sharing it with someone else.
And we genuinely love to hear from you too. What are your experiences with journaling? Has it made a difference for you?
Yeah, tell us.
Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, or you can always email us. It's connect@usawaken.com. We really do like hearing your stories.
Absolutely. So until our next deep dive, remember, real clarity, it begins when you begin listening.
To yourself.
Stay awakened, stay inspired,